Oh, great old organization that began in Sacramento in 1853. It kind of goes back to the story of the gold rush. The miners, when they came here in 1848, 1849, they knew that they were making history. And they were convinced that they needed to tell the story the way they wanted to tell it. So there were pioneer organizations that sprung up in San Francisco and Sacramento and all the major areas around the state. In fact, some of them are pioneers that went back home, went back to the East Coast. There was a New York Society of Pioneers, etc., for California pioneers. A very popular organization. They started out with first providing burial services. They had cemeteries and they would provide burial services for their members. But they also thought of themselves as being cultural institutions, that they would provide programs. They used to call them collations. They would be a speaker and there would be food and lunch and lots of wine and cheese and all kinds of things like that. And their organization grew in Sacramento to a high point about 1880. The membership had gotten to about 400, and then they started dying off as an organization. So eventually, by the turn of the century, they were forced to allow their children to join, which was a big step for them because then it wasn't you weren't here before December 31st, 1849. You were the descendant of somebody who came before December 1st, 1849. There are a few of these pioneer organizations still left. Sacramento is the only one that still has its original home or house. Pioneer Hall is on 7th Street. It actually was the site of the City County Museum for a number of years. They also formed a library association in the new hall, and they gave their library to help form the Sacramento City library system when there was a public library. They've been active players in the community since their inception, and they're still active in the community.